Hey, I assume you know what Total Drama Random Cast is if you clicked this video, but if you don't, allow me to explain. Using random number generator, I chose 22 contestants to compete in Total Drama Island, and then I wrote a story of what would happen. Some people use only original TDI characters, some include Disventure Camp ones as well. But I decided to take it all the way and include people from many different fan-made series. Series I chose to include are Original Total Drama, Disventure Camp, Odyssea del Drama, Reality Resort, Total Drama Gone Wild, Total Drama Oscar Island, Camp Drama, Revolution Island, and the Million Game Academy. So yeah, spoilers warning for all of those since I use their characters. So between those casts I randomized 22 totally random characters, with the only non-random thing being that I made sure to have 11 boys and 11 girls. Also, quick trigger warning, sorry for my bad English, but it's my second language, so don't expect miracle from my pronunciations. With that being said, let's now move to the first episode. After Chris explains the rules, he introduces the first contestant, Ethan. Ethan asks Chris if he really has to do it, to which Chris shows him the contract he signed and tells him that he doesn't really have a choice. Dominic steps onto the island next and says, "Guess who arrived?" in an optimistic and energetic tone. He walks up to Ethan and tries to greet him, but Ethan is too introverted and just awkwardly smiles and waves. Katie and Sadie have the same introduction as in canon. Two girls try to flirt with Dominic and Ethan, finding the two geeks cute. Dominic, not used to being the center of attention, thanks for the compliments, when Ethan blushes hard. After them, Jerry is introduced as the oldest contestant on the show. He tries to crack a couple of jokes with other members of the cast, but they just find him cringe. Followed by Drew, whose introduction is similar to Harold, with him being all weird and stuff. When Chris tells him that he is going to spend summer on this camp, Drew shrugs and says, "I didn't even think this place was gonna be real. Nah, probably just a glitch in the simulation." Owen has the same introduction as in canon, with him being very excited. Drew, however, doesn't agree with Owen's optimism. "You shouldn't be so okay with everything. Government could tell you a lot of lies, seeing how easy to manipulate you are," Drew warns him. Owen, however, smiles friendly, telling him, "Wow, you are smart, will we be on the same team?" Drew just hopes that they won't. Next is Bridget, with her introduction being the same as in canon, with her swinging her surfboard and almost hitting some of the people there. Probably accidentally hitting Owen in the face for slapstick humor. Stacy arrives next, talking about how her great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa invited summer camps. Before him, parents had to watch their kids all summer, and how her great-great-grandma invited competition TV shows. But Chris tells her to shut it and join the others, which she does. Brett is another person to arrive. His introduction would be very much like Jeff's one in canon, with him being all buddy-buddy with Chris, and they would even fist bump and call each other "man" a lot of time. Jerry points out Brett's bike and asks him why would he bring a bike to an island, which Brett answers with, "Wait, is it not a BMX show?" After Chris explains to him what he really signed up for, Brett is actually fine with that too. Fiora is introduced as the youngest contestant, with people like Bridget and Dominic concerned about what a child is doing here. Fiora just pretends to thank them for their worry and assures them that she can handle herself. Cheryl would be another one introduced. She would be very excited to be there. She also would tell Chris that she is his big fan, that she saw him on TV in this one figure skating show. Katie and Sadie say that they saw it as well. One of the contestants dropped his partner on her head. Drew says, "Whoa, what luck." I wish I'd fall on my head too, causing Brett to laugh at the conspiracy freak. Next person to arrive is Wolfgang. He asks in confident tone, so this is who I'm up against? I can do way better than that. Speaking of better, I haven't punched someone in weeks. I see 4 easy prey to catch up on. He says it while thinking of Ethan, Dominic, Drew and Owen. Kylie arrives next. She is excited that she can be here. She starts to ask tons of questions to Chris. How is the game going to work? Who does she compete with? When will lunch be? After the last one, Owen wants to know the answer to that too, but Chris tells them that all of it will be answered in short time. Next is Marcus. Chris tries to greet him, but Marcus just looks around and notices that the camp isn't the mansion Chris promised. Marcus threatens Chris to sue him and the whole show, but Chris shows him the contract that Marcus signed, causing the lawyer to accept defeat. Sophia is another one introduced, and she thanks Chris for letting her join the show and that it's an honor to be here, in her cowgirl accent. When Dan arrives, he kindly greets everyone, but his presence is overshadowed when another person comes in. Caleb arrives and his looks stun all the girls. Owen walks up to him and says, I like your pants, cause they look like they are all worn out. Did you buy them like that? Which Caleb answers that no, he just had them for a while, causing Owen to say, oh, cool, and facepalm himself, calling himself stupid. Chris introduces Jo next. She arrives and is hostile to everyone. You better stay out of my way if you value your kiwis, she tells Wolfgang, who just smirks at her and tells her, right back at you. DJ's introduction is the same as in canon. He high-fives Chris and then joins the others. He tries to be friendly to Drew, but the conspiracy freak calls him an NPC. Confused DJ gets comfort by Brett. Don't worry about him, dude. He was freaking about this nonsense since he arrived. When Sarah arrives, she is pretty shy and doesn't talk with many people. Seeing everyone else doing their thing makes her feel like an outsider. Wow, this place is a lot more like school than I thought it would be, she says under her breath, joining the other contestants. The last person to arrive is Madison, who would be just very friendly, high energy and confident, or confinfed as she spells it. Yeah, she is not going to be the intellectual threat. When the confessional is introduced, Owen still has the same confession as in canon. Sheldon has a confession about how her entire job is about understanding how people's brains work, so she should be able to win this game. The last person to have a confession is Jerry. He says how he used to be super popular back in the days, but now no sponsors contact him. So he hopes that after his appearance on this show, he will get some more sponsor calls. Chris then separates them onto 2 teams. And in canon, teams are based out of personality, as we can learn from one special episode. But because I don't have a key that decides who got on what team for what personality reason, I decided to do whatever everyone else do, which is to randomize teams, and here is what I ended up with. Team Screaming Gophers has Ethan, Kylie, Drew, Cheryl, Madison, Sarah, Dominic, Owen, Brett, Katie and Jo. Meanwhile, Team Killer Bass has all the others: Jerry, Sadie, Bridget, Stacy, Fiore, Wolfgang, Marcus, Sophia, Dan, Caleb and DJ. Sadie then starts to complain about not being on the same team as Katie. Sophia takes the role of Courtney in convincing Sadie that it will be fine and to join the team. Teams head to their cabins. On the Gophers team, Madison, Cheryl and Kylie all get pretty excited about spending summer here, but it's cut short by Jo, who gets really bossy very quickly. The boss of the Gophers pick their heads outside their half of the cabin to check out the drama. Owen chuckles, telling the other guys how glad he is to be in the cabin with just guys, which later he corrects himself that he loves girls, but he just doesn't want to sleep near them, before realizing how it sounded. The awkward moment is broken by Sarah's scream because she saw a cockroach in a cabin. The entire cast comes to see what it is all about. Wolfgang grabs an axe and cuts the bag in half. Joe compliments his way of killing a cockroach, and Brett tells Sarah that if she sees something scary, she can tell him because he can take care of it too. Sarah blushes at his words. Dan asks Chris if there will be anyone looking out for them, to which Chris says that he and Chef are the only two. Marcus scoffs and complains about how he is old enough to be Chris's dad, so he doesn't need anyone to look out for him. Dan asks what about Fiora, since she isn't old enough to take care of herself, but Chris assures Dan that 2 adults is enough to take care of one 6 years old. Cast goes to the mess hall where Chef serves their meal. He says that he serves it 3 times a day, and they will eat it 3 times a day. Dan and Drew ask about if they will get all the major food groups. It annoys Chef, so he tells them to sit their butts down. Owen jokes about Chef's anger to Dominic, which Chef hears and commands Owen to come closer. Owen defends himself that he didn't really say anything important, which Chef answers with, "I'm sure you didn't!" He then calls Dominic a scrawny kid and asks him to give him his plate, where Chef places another extra portion of whatever this food is. My headcanon is that it's burger of oat moose meat. Stacy speaks to Chef, saying how her great-great-great-great-grandma was the first chef on summer camp, and how before her all the kids had to bring canned food to avoid starvation or the food getting old, which Chef interrupts her and tells her to go take her seat. Marcus complains how his food is moving, to which Chef just punches it with the hammer. When they all are eating, Chris comes in. Caleb asks if they can order a pizza, but Chef throws a knife at him, hitting the wall next to his head, causing nervous Caleb to lie about food being good. Chris tells everyone to change into their swimming costumes because their first change starts in an hour. Katie asks DJ what he thinks they will have to do, which DJ answers by saying, "It's our first challenge, how hard can it be?" before camera cuts to the cast standing on top of the cliff. And that's everything for today's episode. I'd like to thank a lot to my friend PepsiCat for proofreading the entire script for this episode and for inspiring me to do Total Drama Random Cast in the first place. Link to his channel will be in the description below. Also, big thanks to you for watching this video. Leave a comment of who you think will win the whole season. I know the visuals were kinda trash, but hey, it's my first video on this channel. I promise that I'll improve with time. Not in the next episode, but still. Another thing is that I know a lot of this episode feels like the original Not So Happy Campers, but what else could I really do? The episode was supposed to be introduction, and there are some things that no matter what character you'll put in, they will just have the same reaction for stuff. Anyway, feel free to leave in the comments ideas for what else you'd like to see me write in the future. I will read every single comment, no promises on making video of your idea. I still may do it, but no promises. Depends on what you will write. Anyways, that's everything now. Bye.